Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week for our class. I hope you've enjoyed learning about some of the different countries and what they do as far as education is concerned. So this week, we're going to look at Finland and the United States. So if you hear some background noise, I apologize. I'm sitting outside of Starbucks in Dahlonega, which is one of my favorite places. So let me show you the large screen and what we're going to do this week. I'm also going to share some information this week on your bibliography, which is due next week as well. So let's start with this week's module. You'll see Finland in the US, and I'm going to go to content and show you what you're going to be doing. We're just going to the wrong spot, because it always does. All right, so this week, we're looking at Finland in the US. I'll put the overview and objectives in there. I just haven't yet. So you're going to read chapter 7 in your textbook this week. And then you're going to go down to your assignments and activities. So for Finland, I have your Nearpod right here. The Nearpods, you'll notice, are pretty short. But these are the two articles that are linked in the Nearpod. So if you want to read them outside the Nearpod, that's perfectly fine. And then you have two videos that are in the Nearpod, and I put them here as well because some people have had challenges accessing that. So this is all of your information for Finland. There is one quick question at the end of the Nearpod for you to answer a quick little poll. And then under the US, you have, again, your Nearpod, which is right here, 5.2. the two articles and two videos that are in for the US. So this, we're going to get into your activity for this week. And it's a discussion post. And I'm not the biggest fan of discussion posts, but this one I thought was really interesting because it really looks at your views on education. So this is what I want you to do. After doing my own research this week, finding videos that I felt were really good to talk about education, especially in the United States. I had a really hard time, believe it or not, because every time I would click on a video at YouTube, I felt, oh, well, do I truly believe that? And what do my students think? Because we all have different views, and that's perfectly fine. We should have different views, especially around education. We don't all have to be on the same page. What's important is that you have something to support your view. So what I want you to do this week is I want you to find a YouTube video. Now, this is going to be a discussion post that could, I really want you to be respectful of each other as you do this. And I know you all will be. But I want you to do your own YouTube search for a video on education in the United States. Watch the whole video. And then I want you to go to the discussion board and I want you to post your video. And then in your discussion post, I want you to talk about why you feel that your video is important and what it's talking about. Do you feel that it has some bias to it? You can post a video that you feel is completely biased and say why. Actually, one of the Finland videos you're going to watch this week is by a gentleman named Michael Moore. If you've seen some of his work in the past, it could be very controversial. But his video on Finland, I thought was really interesting, but definitely holds some bias to it. So go to the discussion post and post your video. Explain why you think your video is or is not biased in some way. Talk to us about your video. And then in a respectful manner, respond to two of your classmates. You could post questions to them if you don't necessarily agree on their views. But again, you need to be very respectful. Remember, in your discussion posts, I'm expecting at least a paragraph to 2 paragraph responses to your classmates. I'm not looking for one sentence. I want to see you really respond to those classmates, okay? So that being said, I do want to go into the assignments tab because you do have two and your assignments and activities this week. You have your reading reflection and you have your bibliography due this week. So let's go to the bibliography because I haven't talked a lot about that yet. So I've made, under the assignments folder, I've made a folder on the bibliography. So here's the assignment itself. In the past, they've done an annotated bibliography, but to be honest, I don't love them. So we're not doing one. All I want you to do is come up with a reference list of at least 10 references you plan to use towards your final project. So yes, you need to be thinking about that final project. And I think that the video search you do this week is going to help you to start to look for your situation, I'm going to call it. I'm not going to say problem in the US education system, but something that's going on in education that right now that's a hot topic. So at least 10 references, they have to be peer reviewed. A couple of people mentioned to me that a challenge for them is finding really good resources. So what I've done is I've actually linked 2 videos here. The first is how to find sources for a research paper. The second actually comes directly from UNG and finding peer-reviewed articles. There's also this link right here. I'm going to go to it. And this is right through the UNG libraries. If you go to libraries and then you go to for students, they have all of these really great videos on finding research and how to find really good peer-reviewed research. Now, let me put this caveat in there about this project. I expect you to have questions. I expect it not to be completely correct. So the whole goal of this is just to get out there, start finding your references, and then I will correct it for you. There's motorcycle starting past going to Dahlonega. And if you've ever been up to Dahlonega, you know there's always motorcycles up here, especially on a Saturday. Anyway, I digress. So what I want you to do is I want you to go and find the research, put it onto the reference list. Let me correct it. Let me give you the correct references if there's something off on it. I'll just correct it, send it back to you, and then you have the corrections for when you do your final paper. So that being said, when you do your final project, I expect the references to be correct, right? So this is just finding 10 resources you potentially plan to use for your paper. So that's what you're doing this week. That's what the bibliography is. If you have questions about it, shoot me an email and let me know. And I'm happy to help. I'm happy to give you, guidance as to where to go. But use these resources first that I'm giving you because I think that it will get you in the right direction. I hope you'll have a wonderful 4th of July. The next week, I'll be coming to you from Washington, D.C. I'm so excited. I'm actually going to go spend a week in Washington. I'm leaving on Thursday to advocate for education, and I cannot wait. I'm going to Capitol Hill. I'll be meeting with Senator Ossoff's office, Senator Warnock's office to talk about education, to talk about teacher shortage, to talk about why we need quality teachers in education. And we need quality pay for teachers. So I'm really excited about this. I'll be sending you some of the information throughout the week. So if you're interested, I'll send you some of the stuff that I get to do. Happy to have you come and Zoom in if you'd like to be a part of any of the research that I'll be doing this week. If you're interested in it at all, let me know. I can always Zoom you into some of the sessions that I'll be going to. Anyway, have a wonderful 4th of July. Have a lot of fun. And I will see you all next week from Washington. Bye, everyone.